welcome to our Saturday tips. So my goal is that every Saturday I give you some useful tips on how to use electric muscle stimulation. So today let's start with the basics, sizing up for the suit and watering. So firstly you always have to pick the right size. Oopsie. So you always have to pick the right size and then make sure the electrodes are in the right position. And lots of times, not lots of times, but sometimes they are not in the right position, which means you will have to take them off very carefully and place them into the desired position. And that is actually very easy to do, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm easily taking off the electrodes. See, they come off. I'm moving it here, adjusting everything around it to make sure that everything is at the right area. And now, in the back, this aligns with the Velcro here. So now I'm just going to position it right there where I believe my butt electrode should be. And then I'm hiding the cables right behind it. And make sure that both sides are about the same distance from each other. And once you do that, now comes the watering. It's a plus if you have this, because with this you can actually have hot water. And not just hot water, but you save so much time watering because, filling up the pump, face it, it's pretty annoying. And then emptying out the bucket for this all the time is even more annoying. So we waste so much time when now we have this and all we need to do is literally just push the button. Oh, it's already wet, the electrode is all wet. And what you also need to pay attention to, that you're watering it on the edges too. So start out from the edges and fill up the inside. It's very important that it gets completely soaked, because if it's not soaked, then you might feel this stabbing sensation, itching sensation, or you might just don't feel it as much, and the machine, the no-load trip, which is a safety that we have on our system, might turn on and it will X out as a big red X on the machine. And when that big red X comes up, it means it's either not touching right or it's not wet enough, or the combination of the two. So you gotta make sure that it's completely soaked, go around the edges, fill up all the gaps, and a good rule of thumb is if you push in, water should come out like a wet sponge. If you push in and there's no water coming out, then it's not wet enough. And there's no such a thing over-watering it. Of course, you can always over-water and we create a mess, but it's way better to over-soak it than having it dry, and then during the session you have to take it off from your clients and re-water the suit. Because that will also show you that you're unprofessional, you don't know what you're doing, and you basically messed up. Since I have no help today here, all the employees are busy, I'm going to show you. You should have it drop a little bit, obviously a little bit over-soaked, so I can show this to you. Look at this, see how much water comes out? Make sure that you let it drip here, so you don't make a big mess. And then now, we move over to the client, you give this to the client, they put it on, and very important, obviously, while they are buckling this in, you have to put your fingers right in here, pull it up and hold it up, because if you don't hold it up, while they are buckling in, do you see this? It slides down, so now it's not touching my butt, and it will feel really uncomfortable when you turn on the machine, because I won't feel it on my butt, or it will basically feel like a stabbing feeling, which we don't want. So you have to hold it up at the whole time, while the client is tying this up. And the way you know that this is the right size, if the lower back, which is right here, is actually touching the lower back, which it is in my case, right? And then the butt is here. If the lower back is like down here, then it's too small. If the lower back is higher, then obviously it's too big. And if you can't tie these, it also means it's too big. So you should have these right here on the side. Make sure that you do tie these, because if you don't tie them while you're standing here and you just go on and wet the top, then all the water will drip out and you create a big mess. Now, it's also very important that you look at the electrodes here too. If there's a crease, do you see this? There's like a bubble, a gap. So what happens is when you're going to do crunch the next time or your client, then it creates this bubble right between your abs and they won't feel it. Or it might X out while they are doing crunches or basically doing their ab exercises. So it's important to take these off, just like this. And then even them out and straighten them out. This way it becomes straight, just like this. Same on both sides. And by the way, this happens over time, just because, people do crunches, so it bends over behind the Velcro. So once you fix that, obviously let it drip again. Once it's all dripped out, give it to the client, put it on, and once they zip it, or you zip it for them, make sure that these seats tucked inside accidentally, so that would cut out also the electrodes, so make sure you pull those out, all of them, like so it's completely straight, it's not under the electrode. Then, especially for guys, the way you know if the chest electrode is at the right spot is you have to look at the line. Do you see this? There's this yellow line, because I'm using the XL undersuit. But if you use, and each undersuit has its own color, but it doesn't matter what color it is, what matters is the line is right there. So what you need to do is the edge of the chest should get as close as possible on both sides to that line. If it goes over the line, then it will shock your shoulder, and it's not a good spot. If it goes way too low, like right here, then it will shock my nipples. So make sure that it's right at the right spot, like as close as you can get it on both sides. It's almost touching, perfect. So now, you can go ahead and tie it for the clients, obviously on the back. Obviously I don't have anybody here, but you would tie these for the clients. Try to do it both at the same time or side by side, otherwise it will become crooked. So make sure that they don't become crooked, okay? And don't choke them to death, obviously. Don't over tie it either. I'm so excited to tell you that we have created the most amazing electric muscle stimulation academy out there just for you. The information will be linked into this video or in the comments, to make sure to check it out, because this is for you. We are going to show you how to train from the absolute basics to all the way to the top performers, how to train athletes, how to train everyday people, how to train the elderly, dead bodies, how to set up different settings, how to customize each program, why all of your clients should have their own settings, how to use weights, research, and so much more. And at the end of the academy, we will give you one copy of our exclusive EMS Advantage book that also has research backed by University of South Florida.